The empty chair. Every evening at exactly 6 o'clock, an old wooden chair sat outside a tiny bakery on the corner of Maple Street. Customers came and went. Children laughed as they chose their favorite pastries. Neighbors stopped to chat. But no one ever sat in that chair. For years, people wondered why the bakery owner never moved it inside. One rainy afternoon, a college student named Liam walked into the bakery. He looked exhausted. His final exams were approaching, he was working 2 part-time jobs, and he felt like he was failing at everything. As he waited for his coffee, he noticed the empty chair outside. Curious, he asked the elderly baker, "Why does that chair stay outside every day if nobody ever sits in it?" The old baker smiled but didn't answer immediately. Instead, he handed Liam his coffee and said, "Take it outside. Sit in the chair for 5 minutes. Then come back, and I'll tell you." Liam thought it was strange, but he agreed. He carried his coffee outside and sat in the old chair. At first, nothing happened. Cars passed by. People hurried down the sidewalk. A cool breeze carried the smell of fresh bread through the air. Then Liam noticed something he had never paid attention to before. A little girl shared half of her cookie with her younger brother. A delivery driver stopped to help an elderly woman carry her groceries. A street musician smiled at every person who walked past, even when no one dropped money into his guitar case. For the first time in weeks, Liam stopped thinking about his own problems. He simply watched the world. 5 minutes later, he returned to the bakery. "So," the old baker asked, "what did you see?" Liam smiled. "I saw people being kind." The baker nodded. "Exactly." He looked toward the empty chair. "My wife and I owned this bakery together for 42 years. Every evening after closing, she sat in that chair with a cup of tea. She used to tell me that if you sit still long enough, you'll discover that the world is much kinder than the news makes it seem." Liam listened quietly. "After she passed away, I couldn't bring myself to remove the chair. So instead, I leave it outside. Whenever someone feels lost, I invite them to sit there." Most people leave with the same realization. Liam looked through the bakery window at the smiling customers. "The world isn't perfect," the baker continued. "But it isn't hopeless either. We're just too busy to notice the good." Those words stayed with Liam long after he left. Over the next few months, whenever life became overwhelming, he returned to the bakery and spent 5 quiet minutes in the chair. Each visit reminded him that kindness still existed. Years later, Liam graduated from college and became a teacher. On the first day of every school year, he placed one empty chair in the back of his classroom. His students always asked why it was there. He would simply smile and say, "Whenever life feels too heavy, sit in that chair for 5 minutes. Look around. Remember that the world is still full of good people." One autumn morning, Liam received a letter from a former student. It read, "I was ready to give up. Then I remembered the empty chair. I sat quietly in the park, watched strangers helping each other, and realized there was still hope. Thank you for teaching me to notice the good instead of only the bad." Liam folded the letter with tears in his eyes. In that moment, he understood something beautiful. The old baker had never been protecting an empty chair. He had been protecting a simple reminder. Sometimes, the greatest change in our lives doesn't come from changing the world around us. It comes from changing the way we choose to see it. And sometimes, all it takes is 5 quiet minutes and an empty chair.